Mr. President, my wife Martha and I would like to welcome you back to the Black Hills of South Dakota. It's been quite a while. Now, the wonderful folks at the Forest Service, they of course provided me with some remarks. But I don't like it when people put words in my mouth. So, Ms. Martin, please. I know what they wanted. They wanted to know why I built this tower and what the friendship between the President and myself meant. For men like us, Mr. President, it's hard to put that kind of friendship into words. A friendship that lasted for 35 years. But I would like to sum it up with recounting an old story that I'm sure the President will recall. When the President left office, he went on a grand safari of Africa. You remember, you'd been after me for months and months to join you on that safari, but I apologize. I declined the invitation. But the President, he had a particular way with my wife, and he convinced Martha that we should join him for a grand tour of the British Isles. So Martha and I, we left Deadwood, and we joined the President over in England. We had a great time touring the countryside there, didn't we? But one day, we were in London, on the steps of the Parliament building there. I remember this. A little British newspaper man, he comes up to me and he says, "Now, Marshal Bullock, can I ask you a question?" And I said, "Well, of course you can, but only if you want an honest answer." The newspaper man asked me then, he said, "Why is it that the President doesn't like kings?" Well, I saw the expression on your face that day, and I'll never forget it. There was a diplomatic dust-up waiting to happen. So I considered the question for a moment. And finally I said, "Well, sir, it is my opinion that the President prefers aces instead." And that the President did. He preferred the ace of men who came out of the American West. He preferred the ace of men who are Dakota cowboys. And Mr. President, you humbled me more times than I like to recall that you considered that I was an ace among those Dakota cowboys. Now you ask me why I built this tower. It's because a 35-year-long friendship, the kind of friendship that you and I had, is something that this is a symbol of the respect and the friendship we had for each other. And it has lasted for 90 years. The President's and my friendship will last through eternity, as is the case here in the Pahasapa of Dakota. And Mr. President, I built this tower 90 years ago because you are an ace among all men.
Sheriff Bullock, I wonder if you'll stay with me here while I make some remarks. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you'll pardon me if I don't use the microphone. But one thing that I've learned, it seems that the more that our political leaders have been able to amplify their voices, the less they truly have to say. How delightful to hear the reminiscences of my dear friend, Seth Bullock. I'm reminded that on that March morning, 1909, when my son Kermit and I left for Africa and the Great Safari, J.P. Morgan, my old nemesis, the man who I sued in our first antitrust suit, he and his friends, men I called the malefactors of great wealth, they toasted to our journey, thusly, to the lions, may they do their job. What a delightful time I had in Europe. I toured Europe in 1910 after that great hunting safari. But I did write to my friend Seth Bullock and to Mrs. Bullock. I said, please do come to Europe, for I had met so many princes and kings. If I met another, I thought I would bite him. And I wrote to the Bullocks that I just needed to hear the dialect of a man from my own neighborhood. And the times that we had together in Europe are amongst my fondest memories. Well, if I may, ladies and gentlemen, most especially people of South Dakota and the good people of the United States Forest Service, bully for you, we are outdoors, and any day spent outdoors, regardless of the weather, is a tremendous and delightful day. Today is July 2nd, and we are but 2 days from the anniversary of this delightful monument and from the anniversary of our great Independence Day, the 4th of July. So if I may, I would like to share some formal remarks on this august occasion. We celebrate today not only the independence of our nation, we celebrate the revolutionary notion that people can live together, form their own government, and hold that government against the effort of kings and tyrants and enemies, foreign and domestic. As President Lincoln said, and as we believe, we are a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. In that spirit, let the watchwords of all our people be the old familiar watchwords of honesty, decency, fair dealing, and common sense. And if I may, here in the fair dealing and in using common sense at this, the beginning of our great summer, I ask each and every one of you to yourselves and to implore your friends and neighbors to exercise common sense when you are out in these great forests. For amongst our greatest heroes are the firefighters of the United States Forest Service, who keep our national treasures and our